Thanks for staying with us. All right, Jeff, here's a question for you. Are successful women less likable? That's what the COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, is saying in her new book.
Sandberg says plenty of women are ambitious, but when it comes to leading, men outnumber the ladies. Is it for fear of being disliked, or is something else at work? Here, joining us with some insight, motivational speaker and author Alexia Vernon. Ms. Vernon, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Vegas Inc. Basically, if you look at what Sandberg said, she said, look, women really haven't advanced over the past 10 years. I mean, a certain percentage still remain CEOs, a certain percentage still remain board members and that type of thing. Is there something deeper at work here? I mean, do you buy her thesis?
I certainly agree that there has been research, which she points out in the book, that suggests that women, as they progress in the workplace and move into more senior leadership positions, statistically are less liked. What I think is equally problematic, if not even more so, is that for women, 20% of us, according to a complimentary book, Women Don't Ask, will never negotiate because of fear. And when we look at Gen Y women who are graduating from college right now, what we see is that there's actually an ambition gap in their favor, where they have higher aspirations than Gen Y men. Yet, according to the American Association of University Women, those Gen Y women are also already making approximately $7,600 less per year than Gen Y men. And that number gets more significant the longer women go when they don't negotiate in their careers.
So do you think that that's just because it's so accepted in society that we make 70 cents on the dollar that we don't, or we're not willing to stand up for ourselves? I mean, I don't negotiate whether it comes to my salary or buying a car. I just want to go in and say, how much is it, you know?
Mm-hmm. There are market differences, whether it's sociological or biological, and yes, that plays a role in why there is pay inequity. Is it the only reason? No. And as Sandberg points out, there are a lot of institutional problems. What she is seeking to do in the book is really take best practices and best principles of gender theory, infuse them with self-improvement to say, women, there are opportunities for you. Some barriers are actually self-imposed. Here's a pathway to be able to lean in and take advantage of opportunities.
I was just going to ask you, how do you change the attitudes of women, and how do you change the attitudes of men on this?
To start with women, I think first and foremost pointing out the research that shows that when you don't negotiate, even if you feel like you're being paid fairly, by mid-career the research suggests you're leaving approximately $500,000 on the table, which is not minor. The second piece, sorry to tell you that, Tina.
Not minor for either sex, I might add. But
and it impacts men because, of course, if you're in a dual partnership and you're bringing home less money as a woman, that impacts your entire family. The key piece, though, is to reframe negotiations as something that feels douchey and uncomfortable into a creative and confidence-building activity, and to recognize that that fear is actually an indication oftentimes that it's important and that that's a reason to lean in, because yes, there's a chance somebody will say no, but if you get really clear on your response to why you're uniquely poised to provide the solution you're negotiating for and why somebody would want you now to do it, you're much more likely to be successful. Now, in terms of men, it's important for men to recognize that the research also suggests, whether you're looking at the Dow Jones or you're looking at recent research by Catalyst, that the more women there are on boards, on senior executive teams, as founders of startups, the more profitable those companies are. So as a community, if we're really interested in ensuring that the hiccups we've had on our path to success over these last few years become footnotes rather than reoccurring themes, I would think we want to do everything in our power to ensure that women's voices are a part of the conversation.
Absolutely. We are unfortunately out of time. Interesting viewpoints. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you
for coming on the program.